Alright, what's going on, traders? Welcome back to another video. Today is January 20th, 2026, and today I'll be reviewing my trades for the day. Before I do, I want to go over my pre-market analysis and analysis that I made of the stocks that I was going to be looking at for today. Um, so let's get right into it. Yep. Nvidia, first off, the period in which it was consolidating is now creating tight highs and lower lows of the range. Patience and my levels are set. So, okay, let's go here. Let's go here. Okay, we have an area of resistance, an area of support, and it was finding lower lows, creating a lower high, and it was holding tight towards this, the bottom of this range. So I was just looking to see now if it was going to be able to, bounce in this area of supply, or if it was gonna, you know, have a period in which it rejects and continues to the downside. So really, it was just about being patient and seeing what kind of move would set up, during this trade. And yeah, just kind of watching it, right? And then so over here, this is the 1 hour chart, and I want to emphasize that it's been in a period of consolidation, like we were saying right here, and it's creating tight highs and lower lows. So you know um it had broke down that range. It came back and retested this area of resistance that we have, as well as we can see over here. It came down, found an area of lower support, and as you can see for today, it had bounced that lower support and also found a lower, you know area. It broke down and pretty much got bought up, as we can see here. You see it broke down, and this is where it's at. This is just a higher time frame, right? But it's the same chart. So I was looking to see whether, like I was saying, it's gonna bounce, or if it's gonna the selling pressure is gonna continue and go to the downside. As we can see, a series of lows. Now, taking a look at the second stock, aapl, the period of consolidation that it had now been broken down. It's finding a lower support levels and pre-market trending down. It has its 251 support, as we can see here, 251. This this area of supply, and resistance at 252, which was here. Okay, looking to be patient, watch price actions, see it if something presents itself. Right. Okay, so just we had this area in which buyers had bought here, and an area of resistance, here where the market has pushed up to, but selling pressure took over, causing it to move back down. So I set up my levels. I showed like two analysis in case, if it came back and tested up here, I would try to be looking to find a short, or possibly if it came down here and bounced and looking for a continuation, or if it bounced off of this area of support, we would be looking to find a continuation of this stock, right? Okay. There's SPY. This is the period of consolidation that it has broken down to find lower support. This is the area of consolidation that I had, and it pushed to an area below this, right? So we were looking for, if possible, continuation to the downside, or whatever we were looking for, or a bounce, right? Now looking at the overall market on SPY, as we can see, it had a gap down. It had its areas of resistance, resistance, resistance. It broke all of its areas of support. It has an area of resistance here that now acted as a support, But as you can see, pre-market, it had gapped down. So this was the But I just emphasized the area of resistance, turn into support, turn into support, turn it, right? You know what? Let's draw that in green. Turn into an area of support, turn it into area of support. Now finding lower lows, you know, creating lower lows and lower highs. So it was trending downwards. Found an area of support, which was a previous area of support, as we can see here. So support, showing as an area of support, and making a move towards the upside pre-market. Okay. So now I said SPY bouncing off a lower 180-day support level. And pre-market gap down due to Trump news, creating lower lows and highs to 679 support range, resistance range 683. Looking to be patient and see what the market presents. So today was really about being, I wasn't too confident in what I was seeing, pre-market, and I was looking to just be patient and see what the market presented itself. So just looking to play my cards right, and just be patient. So this is yeah. Here is market open. I think we're 10 minutes into the trading day. It did present some good ideas. I think at this point, I usually wait for 5 minutes. I think this is the fourth minute. Yeah, if these are 1 minute candles, this is the fourth minute. I wait usually until the 5 minutes to get a little more of an overall view, overall understanding of what's going on with the stock. So I was being patient, but as you can see, pre-market it created this area of resistance. It found an area of support right here. So an area in which buyers had bought, bounced, causing the stock to move up, in an area where in which it gets to resistance, the price rejects. But what happened really nice, it made a push up and it came back into this area of resistance, which now and was the area of support. So that was a pretty bullish indicator. What was that? SPY, right? So I was looking to watch it. I was having some issues with my stock. Like I had to click the SPY options contract in order for it to pop up over here. I didn't realize that until like 10 minutes, five minutes I think it took me. But I was being patient. I didn't look to jump into it. Um, that SPY into this area would have been a pretty nice trade, but I had to stick to my rules. I had to be more patient. But like you see, so it was like it pushed up. It's like a break and retest. So it broke out of this resistance area where sellers tend to step in, created a higher resistance level, and then its resistance became an area of support. Buyers were willing to push the stock aggressively at this area that I had once traded. So this was a bullish indicator. This would have been an extremely nice trade, a very high probability trade, just because it showed that buyers were aggressive. They were willing to pay higher prices because the previous support was in this area, right? And so now they're willing to participate in this area. Would have been a freaking nice trade. And so in complete honesty, I think that was like one of the only good trades maybe, because then it started, as we can see, just going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And even there, this would have been a cool idea too, I think, right here. I was watching this. It came into this area of resistance, this area of previous demand. This is also an area of demand. As you can see, pre-market resistance level acted as this resistance level. This would have been extremely nice because this higher area of supply selling into this area of demand, or at least close to it, with the idea of it would have been a freaking good trade. Like I said, my what has worked for me over a period of time is that usually let me see if I close this, it looks a little better. That waiting for the first 5 minutes of the trading days to pass in order for me to take a trade. I get better probabilities, like I'm not like chasing as much. I'm being much more patient, with what I'm seeing. So, um, yeah, I came into this area of demand and it had a freaking beautiful rejection. Boom, 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 boom. And I don't know, after this point, maybe those were the only two clear, I think, clear trades. I wasn't able to capitalize on this one. I wasn't able to capitalize on this one, but this would have been a really nice trade looking at it hindsight. After the fact, even during the fact, I'm like, hey, this looks pretty interesting, but let me be patient. This thing is moving choppy, 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 but it would have made sense to because it's like it's not necessarily a fair value gap, but you can see buyers are willing to purchase this stock, let's say in around this area, right? Sellers had the tendency of selling it 3 times around this area. If I was to short this stock when it made a push up, looking for a failure of this high, this would have been a really nice risk reward. Looking for an area, like looking for a target back towards the support area. Um, I didn't take that trade, so this is just a what if. This is a what if, and uh, but I think hindsight, it looks nice. And look, boom, created another bounce, came back into this area. What did it do? Rejects it. Rejects it, comes back to the area of support. Looking and making a higher low. This is like 25 minutes into the trading day. I'm just trying to be as patient as I can be. This is more of a scalping day. You know, there wasn't clear direction, at least when I was trading. Wasn't clear direction. And then it started breaking down. I'm like, ooh, this looks nice. It's breaking out of its little, its consolidation period. So let's see where this can go. I started eyeballing this. Started eyeballing it. It broke down some more. I'm like, okay, let's see. Let's see. It started to get into our area of supply, and I'm like, this looks good. This looks good. It's having an aggressive push down. I'm looking at options contracts. I'm like, yeah, this is a huge move down. Maybe we can get into this area of supply or around this area of supply. As you can see, look, what I just marked out, pre-market area of supply is now acting as an area of supply. So I drew that out. You know, I drew that out, looking to see how this was gonna test. It started holding it, and I'm like, ooh, this looks nice. This looks nice. So look, boom. That's how it looks on the 5 minute. So it tested that area of supply. I'm like, okay, buyers are stepping in. This looks pretty good. So I was looking along this trade, just being patient. And these two are pretty much, this is pre-market area of supply. This is a previous area of supply where buyers had stepped in. I think it was the 180-day chart, but buyers have stepped in this area before. So I was looking along this trade. Just trying to be, oh yeah, let's see. Yeah, you see an area of supply 251. So we wanted a hold, like we wanted to see in a huge move down. So we're looking to buy in this area of supply, which I thought was fair value, and then its area of resistance is around over here. So I was looking to shoot for a pretty nice target, keep my stop pretty tight, and then just try my best on this. So it started pushing down. It made a push up, so I'm like, okay, buyers are stepping in, as you guys can see. Over here we have 150 volume under this, at around this $2.30 level. We have 242 volume on this 236, 163 versus 247. So we had some buyers, we had some buyers here. Had some buyers here too. And then 302, 4, look, 500, 1,000 versus 600. So it's like there's a good fight. There's like some battling going on over here. So I'm like, I'm gonna look for a long trade. Boom. So look, it started supporting this area of supply. I'm like, okay, let's keep a nice, a tight stop. Let's keep a tight stop. As you guys can see, once again, getting bought up around this area. So I get bought up, dropped down. It broke down and it got bought up. I'm like, yeah, this looks good. This looks good, you know. I think that could be my confirmation. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was my confirmation to get into this trade. As you can see, look. What I'm emphasizing on my finger, 1,123 versus 204, 85, 15. So buyers were looking to purchase this. Buyers were looking to purchase this, and I don't. Okay, yeah. So hmm, I got in here. I got in here when it was going green, right? And then I'm gonna put my stop loss lower. I think I messed up. I clicked it. I'm like, think that was. I think where did I put it? 218 at the bottom of the candle. So I'm like, okay. So if it breaks this momentum that it's having, this higher support being bought up, I would want to get out this stock. You know, would want to get out this trade, and I would at least want to look for its previous resistance level. You know, which would be about here. I think that'd be a 2-to-1, 3-to-1 target. So I confirmed the trade. I confirmed the trade, kept a nice stop, and I'm like, oh shit. I mean, it turned around pretty quick, and you know, it turned around pretty quick. Yeah, I had got out. Okay, but one thing I think I did right was I got out when I was wrong quick. Cause it's one thing that if you get wrong, be wrong and you hold on to it versus okay, the stock showing me that that it's better just to get out quick. Just be proven wrong quick about your analysis and then just keep on going. It's much better than having it friggin' like consolidate and end up dropping on you, like, and not even being able to fill orders. So I had got there. I got stopped out. I'm gonna keep watching this, cause sometimes like what happened to me, I think last week, my analysis was right. Was right, but my timing was wrong. So I'm like, okay, I'd be looking if this is able to support its supply zone, and I can still see buyers step in. As you guys can see, the buyers are freaking, they're there. They're there. So I was just looking to be patient, looking for another entry, give it another try. Um, I think I try it one more time. I'm like, okay, this 250-102 is holding. This 250-102 is holding. I see buyers, and then now it bounced at 251. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, it's at a whole number, and whole numbers are either a big support or resistance zone. The last whole number was at 252, so I'm like, let me place my order. Let's give it another shot. Let's give it another shot. Um, I get filled in my stop loss right below that, so it's at 251 probably, and then I would be looking to cover around into this area. So my stop loss was fairly it was a good risk reward. I was looking to get in here. Stop loss target would be the previous resistance zone. I think it would have been a 4-to-1, 4-to-1, 3-to-1, and it just stopped me out. Yeah, so this was kind of choppy. It was I don't think necessarily like it was a bad trade. I don't think it was a bad trade because what makes this in my opinion, what makes this a good trade is I had context. I had a reason for buying at a certain period of time, at a certain price, you know, and I had reasoning behind that on why I purchased this at where I did, and the confirmation. So I had context and confirmation. The context was it was trading at a previously supported area. The confirmation was that there was buyers there. Um, so I had checked those two out, and then the risk reward. I knew what I was gonna be making. I knew where I was gonna be selling into if I got into this trade, and I knew where I was gonna be stopping out when if I was to be wrong in this trade. you know. So everything checked out. I put my stop losses. I put my resistance. I mean, my profit targets. I bought an area of previously supported. Confirmation was I saw buyers. I think what ends up happening is, let me see. What ends up happening is it broke down that 251, and then I look. It broke down. I mean, it broke out. So buyers took control. It broke, and then it completely came back. Oh, I think that's the end of the recording. So this was around 217. Yeah, so it was just I think it was a good trade. If it follows my trading plans. This is the type of setup I do look for. So I'm trading I'm trading a stock that I've traded before, right? I have context behind the trace. I have a thesis. It's an area that has been previously supported. So I was looking, and it was supporting today. Um, it just was a little choppy. I think it did end up making a move right after. Um, but and I had got out when I needed to. I knew my target where it was gonna be, and I had I had lost exactly what I needed to lose if I was wrong about this trade, and in this instance, I was wrong. You know. Um, But yeah, this pretty much sums up the video. If you guys liked it, if you guys found this valuable in any way, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If there's anything I can do better, please let me know. Um, if you guys see any mistakes, anything, please let me know. And I hope you guys found value in this video. I hope you all had a great trading day, and I'll be looking to you know trade the exact same trade the exact same way tomorrow. Have have context, have a place in which you know the market has shown it's either rejected or bounced off of previously. Looking to play, looking to set up my levels, and looking for, most importantly, that confirmation. Looking to see what they do in these areas. Today it came back to this area. I saw some buyers. The buyers probably ended up spoofing their orders. Who knows? But I tried it. I knew my risk. I knew my reward. And yeah. So we survived another day of trading. We survived another day of trading. I stuck to my stop loss, and we're gonna keep shooting at it. Um, yeah. So I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow.